blood of our people are your lands kept safe.
I see in your eyes the same fear that will take the heart of me.
So do all who live to see such times.
By all that you hold dear, this good earth.
There's some good in this world, and it's worth fighting.
We're rolling. All right. 3, 2, 1, action. Welcome everyone. Today we are talking about the aftermath of the events of episode 7. We have Galadriel and Halbrand are rushing to save his life using elven magic. The Harfoots have learned some harsh truths about the Meteor Man and the cultists chasing him. Elrond and Durin the Fourth are having their own troubles, with Durin the Fourth maybe disinherited from his from being heir to the Dwarven Kingdom, and Elrond unable to get enough mithril to save the elves. We are, of course, talking about the preview of Episode 8, which comes out on Fridays or midnight on Thursdays, where we are. We start things off with Gil-galad and Celebrimbor talking ominously in the glade that we have come to know quite a bit about. This glade was the first place that they discovered the elven light was fading, and they probably are talking about their inability to get mithril from the dwarves at this point.
Yeah, the Gil-galad is saying to Celebrimbor, the great tree is all but bleeding leaves, and soon the last one will fall. And then we have a shot of Elrond holding mithril.
Now what is he gonna do here? This kind of harkens back to his oath. While he has not, I guess, technically broken it, and maybe he can't break it anymore since the elves know about mithril, will he go to Gil-galad and tell him what has happened with the dwarves, and will that then influence Gil-galad's decision on how he handles the dwarves moving forward? That's potentially what we're seeing here in that scene.
And then we have a shot of Galadriel and Halbrand riding towards a city.
Yes.
And
now we know
you
that they're quite a ways from the elves, so we're not sure how far they're going to be able to travel, especially with Halbrand in his condition.
And Galadriel says, "I did not cross that bitter ocean only to drown now," which I think that means they're about to face some perils, I guess.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is we thought maybe all of the orcs and danger was behind them, but perhaps they're going to come into contact with some other dangers, either orcs or otherwise, because we know that not everyone is friendly with elves, or humans for that matter.
And then we see someone wearing a glove. It might be a female arm. I can't tell. I'm looking at it now. And they're holding, it's kind of an oil lantern lighter sort of thing, and they're going into a doorway.
Yeah, very cryptic, very eerie. This is clearly not. This is clearly not some normal action, because it does seem to be they're trying to hide who they are and what they're doing. It kind of reminds me of a similar thing we saw when that guy from Newman was trying to blow up the ships to keep people from going to Middle Earth. So it kind of has a similar vibe to that.
Exactly. And then we see the Númenórean ship pulling into port at Númenor, we believe.
Unless they got blown way off course, I think this is definitely Númenor where they ended up.
And we have Muriel telling Elendil that the way of the faithful is committing to pay the price. So, I mean, there's two factions in Númenor. There's the faithful. Those are the ones that are loyal to the old ways and the elves, and the Kingsmen, which are they prefer a new way separate from the elves.
That's right. They don't want anything to do with the elves. In fact, they are in favor of how they have cut off all ties with the elves for the most part. And we haven't seen Pharazôn in a little bit, so he has had.
He's had
Númenor.
He's had Númenor to himself to really influence things.
That's right. So
he's,
we're not
he's
sure.
He's probably been running things while Queen Regent Muriel's been gone.
Exactly. So we're not sure exactly what kind of Númenor we're about to arrive in and it might not be the one that we left.
Yeah, and then we have a shot of the Meteor Man holding that apple that Nori gave him in the last episode, and it's very gray setting, kind of. It's not quite a black and white shot, but it's
your eye definitely
color,
gets pulled to that apple.
The apple is the bright, is the one thing with a lot of color in the shot.
That's right, and it is a symbol of Nori's friendship with the Meteor Man, which is, I guess, still going strong despite them being separated. They still care for each other.
Then we have this explosion happening in this tower, which I presume relates to the previous shot we just had of the person opening the door with that the lighter. And we have some debate on what location is this?
That's right. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments down below. We'd love to hear it.
Is this Numenor? And I was thinking that could be the King's Tower, and maybe this is an assassination attempt on the king to really maybe we have a power struggle in Numenor.
That's right.
Or is it Aragion? And we'll have screenshots of both places, and the architecture, it could be either, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, we know Numenor is heavily influenced by the elves and their architecture, so that's what makes it really difficult, especially with the bridge as well, which does look like the bridge that they sail under to leave Numenor. So yeah, it really could be either one, but for me, I think what seals it is Numenor has that look that is reminiscent of Minas Tirith, with a mountainous castle tower structure, and here we see freestanding spires. So to me, that tilts the scales in favor.
And you see kind of a mountain range in the back. I don't like Aragon is near the Misty Mountains. We know that. So, the mountain range that Khazad-dûm.
That's right.
So you are going to see mountains in the background, but yeah, the other thought is maybe this is an act of dwarf terrorism in Aragon, kind of symbolizing we're not working with you anymore.
Especially if Gil-galad, having been told by Elrond the dwarves will not help them out, perhaps Gil-galad has started to move against the Dwarven Kingdom in terms of they'll take it by force if they have to, which obviously would trigger the dwarves who are working on a large furnace for Celebrimbor. So
yeah, and then we have Celebrimbor, a shot of him, and he has this quote: "True creation requires sacrifice," which is a little ominous to me.
That's right, and it also makes it, if that is an explosion from the furnace, it could almost be interpreted as an accident that is going to happen in building such a magical, large-scale furnace. So maybe we're way off on the terrorism plot. Celebrimbor does not look pleased or happy in any way when he has that quote, and so I believe he is looking on as one of his towers is in peril, perhaps.
Yes, and now we have a shot of Nori with White Walker eyes, basically.
Yeah, this is a weird Nori. We've seen a lot of different faces on Nori, from happy and giddy to downright terrified. This is a new one.
And so we don't know. Perhaps she's been possessed by the cultists.
When we last left her, she was chasing after them to try to warn Meteor Man. So perhaps she did eventually catch up with them.
And then we have a shot of she's kind of the leader cultist, and she's got flames in her hands.
Yeah. Now I can't tell. The cultists really don't give much away in their facial expressions, so I can't tell if she's preparing for battle of some kind, or if she is simply doing a menacing action similar to how she handled the Harfoots. They really don't give away much here.
And then we see a hand with a knife. A hand has a ring on it, and is coming out of the water.
And it seems to me that it is Galadriel, but I can't imagine how she ended up in water again. So
yeah,
I am kind of confused what Galadriel and Halbrand trouble they got into. Now, we do hear at the end of the last episode, Galadriel saying that to Halbrand that they have one more raft to journey on together. So
I thought that was a metaphor.
I thought it was too, but perhaps it was not.
And maybe this other line about I don't want to drown here, or whatever she said earlier. I didn't cross the
Exactly.
bitter ocean to drown here. Maybe that's also not a metaphor. That's
Exactly.
literal.
Perhaps they are actually telling us where they are going to be. They're going to be sailing instead of riding their horses, because that makes a lot more sense, especially considering how far away they are from the elves, and that is their eventual destination.
Yes. All right.
But yeah, that wraps it up for this preview. What do you guys think? What are you hoping that happens in this episode? Because we are coming towards the end here of the first season. What more do you guys need to kind of wrap some of these storylines up for you guys? Let us know in the comments down below. Remember to like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.